Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
番組は多言語放送です。放送予定は suprememastertv.com/schedule。
Lactose is the main carbohydrate or sugar in milk, and a staggering number, 3 out of 4 adults in the world are unable to break down the substance, a condition commonly known as lactose intolerance. Continue watching to find out more.
Terver means hello in Karelian, a language spoken in the Republic of Karelia. This is how the hospitable people of Karelia would greet you if you ever visited this northern European land. Gracious viewers, my name is Yulia. The courageous Karelians wish that your days are filled with God's love and jubilance. Welcome to our show, Ditching Dairy Brings Better Health. Today, we are going to explore why dairy is scary and best to be avoided. Milk is a naturally produced, nutrient-rich liquid food that comes from the mammary glands of mammals. It is the primary food source for baby mammals before they can digest solid food. Dairy is a type of food made from animal-based milk and includes milk itself, butter, cheese, ice cream, and yogurt. Humans are the only species that drink milk past infancy, and definitely the only one that drinks other species' milk. A milk's composition, including the percentage of water, amount of antibodies that protect the newborn, as well as the carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins, and minerals within it, varies from species to species. Each milk type is naturally designed to meet the nutritional requirements needed for a baby's optimal growth. Thus, it is plain to see that cow's milk is not suited for human consumption. For example, it contains twice the protein of human milk and the unique amino acid called leucine that stimulates muscle protein synthesis. High amounts of leucine and protein in milk cause a calf to double its birth weight in around 40 days. Human breast milk has less protein, and the baby takes about 180 days to double its birth weight. A human baby needs less protein but more fat during the early stages of infancy, when their energy is primarily focused on developing the brain, spinal cord, and nerves instead of muscle. Milk has 2 types of protein, namely casein and whey. The ratio of these 2 proteins in human milk is 40:60, respectively. By contrast, it is an 80:20 ratio in cow's milk. Since the protein concentration in cow's milk is more than double that of human milk, the casein concentration is very high, and it can be more difficult for humans to digest. Casein has been shown in studies to be associated with causing diseases and allergies, including type 1 diabetes. It may be a surprise to some that the protein in cow's milk can cause many forms of allergic reaction among infants. One is intestinal bleeding that sometimes leads to anemia. This condition can be worsened by the consumption of low iron food, like cow's milk. The iron content of cow's milk is so low that to meet the recommended daily intake of 5.3 milligrams, a 1-year-old child would need to drink over 14 liters per day if it was the only iron source. Cow's milk is also lower in vitamin C, D, and A than human milk. While the amount of fat present in cow's milk is close to the quantity found in human milk, the types vary. Cow's milk contains more saturated fat, while human milk contains higher levels of unsaturated fat. Saturated fat contributes significant amounts of cholesterol to our body, thus increasing the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other serious health problems. The unsaturated fatty acids of human milk are essential for brain development. For newborns, the brain grows quickly in the first 12 months of life, outpacing the rest of the body's growth and tripling in size. Infant brain development and function rely on receiving appropriate amounts of the omega-6 fatty acid, arachidonic acid, or AA, and the omega-3 fatty acid, docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA. AA and DHA are at very low levels or non-existent in cow's milk. Also, the higher amounts of protein, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, and chloride present in cow's milk can place a strain on still developing kidneys. In turn, the organs take water from the body, thus elevating the chance of dehydration. Now, let's examine cow's milk's effects on grown-ups. Lactose is the main carbohydrate or sugar in milk, and a staggering number, 3 out of 4 adults in the world, are unable to break down the substance, a condition commonly known as lactose intolerance. People who are lactose intolerant will have indigestion upon consuming dairy products. Symptoms may include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Other possible manifestations are muscle and joint pain, headaches, dizziness, lack of energy, difficulty with short-term memory, mouth ulcers, allergies, eczema, rhinitis, sinusitis, and asthma, cardiac arrhythmia, sore throat, increased urination frequency, acne, and depression. Dairy cows may be injected with synthetic hormones such as recombinant bovine growth hormone, or RBGH, that increases their milk production up to 12 times more than they would naturally produce to feed a calf. A worrisome side effect of RBGH usage in cows is the resulting elevated amounts of a growth hormone called insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, in milk that may lead to increased acne and a higher chance of many cancers. Studies in diverse populations have shown a strong and consistent link between high levels of IGF-1 in the blood and the risk of breast, prostate, and colon cancer. Cruel and unnatural practices are utilized to extract extra milk from cows, like automatic milking machines, and antibiotics are used to treat the resulting udder infections, also known as mastitis, in cows. A study published in the journal Public Health Nutrition that examined conventional retail milk produced in the U.S. found traces of antibiotics, including 2 banned from use in dairy production in America in some samples. Up to 60% of the milk tested had traces of 1 or more pesticides. Dioxins are highly toxic chemicals that are extremely harmful to health. The World Health Organization says dioxins are unwanted byproducts of a wide range of manufacturing processes, including smelting, chlorine bleaching of paper pulp, and the manufacturing of some herbicides and pesticides. In terms of dioxin release into the environment, uncontrolled waste incinerators, solid waste, and hospital waste are often the worst culprits due to incomplete burning. These substances can cause problems with reproduction and development, the nervous system, and the immune system. They can disrupt hormones and also lead to cancer. In North America, one eating a conventional diet will get 93% of their dioxin exposure from meat and dairy products. We now turn to the logical solution, which is to ditch dairy. One of the most commonly asked questions is, how do we get our calcium if not from milk? We all know that calcium is an essential mineral that helps to keep bones strong. As our bones perform their regular remodeling process or bone tissue replacement, we need to keep bone density high. Studies show that even though milk and dairy products seem to contain a certain level of calcium, people who consume high amounts of cow's milk have a significantly higher mortality and bone fracture rate than those who drink little to no milk. Milk and dairy contain animal proteins that produce acid when they are broken down. For our body to neutralize the excessive acidity, it may use up some of the calcium that comes with the milk itself and more from our calcium store. In the US, the recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, for adults each day is 1,000 milligrams. The UK's National Health Service advises a daily intake of 700 milligrams, and the World Health Organization recommends 500 milligrams of calcium per day. These amounts can easily be obtained through a vegan or animal-free diet. There are plenty of calcium-rich foods, such as dark green vegetables. For example, 1 cup of cooked collard greens provides approximately 266 milligrams of calcium. 1 cup of cooked kale provides 179 milligrams, and 1 cup of soybeans provides 175 milligrams. Fortified soy milk and other plant-based alternatives such as almond milk provide 300 milligrams of calcium. A half cup of fortified orange juice also furnishes 300 milligrams of calcium. In addition to this mineral, many people are unaware that bone health is maintained by other nutrients such as vitamins K and D. While dairy products have minimal vitamin K, dark green leafy vegetables such as broccoli and kale are abundant in calcium as well as vitamin K. Vitamin D, however, is best obtained from healthful exposure to the sun. Last but not least, a weight-bearing exercise routine helps to increase our bone density. We hope that you have discovered some helpful information about why the intelligent choice is to always avoid dairy products. A plant-based diet is best for our health and our planet's future. Radiant viewers, thank you for your company on today's program. Up next is Supreme Master Ching Hai's Courageous Work for the World, Part 2 of 12, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May your life always be blessed with truth and light.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/HL.